Welcome back to the GSL Code A. I'm Wolf, joined with Artosis today. And we're going into our second to last Code A group, starting things off here. We had a pretty one-sided series, but now we're going into Bbyong versus RorO, which I do not believe will be anything like what we just watched.
No, this is going to be a fantastic match, no doubt about it. No matter how this goes, it'll be good, because these guys are both at the top of their games, seriously. Two of my favorite people to watch in all of Pro League as well, for sure. And I think everyone can agree with that.
Oh, absolutely. Every time these two players are playing, things are getting serious.
Yeah.
Especially in playoffs, when one of these players gets picked, it's like, oh, they're bringing out Bbyong now. Things are getting real. And Bbyong playing a lot of mech, actually, recently versus ProToss. I wonder if that influence will actually come into this a little bit.
I really want to see him play against Trap. Really want to see it.
Could happen, man. He's got to win this match first. Up against RorO here at the GSL today.
In the bottom right, one of our hero Terrans. He is
CJ Entus Bbyong.
And to the top left in red.
Samsung Galaxy Khan RorO.
A champion and very, very good Zerg versus ProToss player. Ends up having to face Bbyong here.
Yeah, his ZVT is pretty good too. I wouldn't put it at the same level as his ZVP for sure, though. Mechanic.
Yeah.
That's right. I hope that we see that.
Well, could definitely see it against RorO here. We have seen a lot of players mech on this map, especially at the beginning of this year. We've seen a lot of mech versus Zerg on this map. Flash versus Dongraegu comes to mind.
That's right.
A few other
Flash
games.
versus Life here.
Yeah.
On the Shotcraft Invitational, of
course.
Yeah, I think it's an okay map for mech for sure. I don't really play very much Terran at all, but mutas when they get a big number here are pretty scary.
Yeah,
that's always the thing I think about. As it gets to the late game, how are you going to end up dealing with that? Especially when you look at the natural and then what is sometimes the fourth base, that one in the middle. Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, that is a muta playground, right? That's pretty hard to stop.
Certainly.
But, Bbyong, definitely a guy who can get very aggressive and perhaps kill off the Zerg or keep the pressure on before something like that can happen.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see. I mean, Bbyong's mech that he's been using recently has been against ProToss and consistently on one specific map that we don't have in this pool, which is Outboxer. So he could still try to pull something off. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, you've got to choose the right map for mech, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
The right map will make it much stronger. Not that it can't win on any map, because it is the most cost-efficient unit composition in the game, as we all know.
Yes.
But, this is one that it could be. We'll see, though. We'll see what he goes with it. A single Reaper going across the map for some scouting. Of course, RorO already got his gas, so he's going to be able to get speed up rather quickly.
Yeah, the Reaper's not going to want to stick around very long. He's going to scout that, too, so shouldn't make any mistakes here. So I actually use that little ridge, that little lip, that little...
Chin?
Chin, yeah. I remember you had a specific word for you. I use a little chin.
It's the ear of the base.
Yeah. It's like a base's pimple and it just jumps right back on it.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, saves the drone, doesn't even have to spore cancel. Very rarely see spore cancels anymore. People have gotten a lot better at dealing with this.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, will he kill a Ling? Oh, you might kill a Ling?
Maybe, actually.
Oh, sloppy RorO losing a Ling.
He actually made 6 Lings as well.
Well, he has speed on the way, so I think it's okay to make 6.
Yeah,
because he's going to want to just go take some map control. If you only have 3 when speed finishes, you feel kind of silly.
You also don't know that your opponent made only just 1 Reaper.
Yeah,
I mean, now he knows, but at the time he didn't know. And if he makes multiple Reapers, not only can he maybe kill them, but then you could possibly go across the map and delay the CC, depending on how fast the speed is comparatively.
Hey, Wolf, is that a second gas in the main base?
Yeah. Starport. No third CC. Starport's at the back, too, interestingly enough.
Yeah, it definitely could be going into to Banshee play. Now, Bbyong, like we were talking about with Supernova the other day, is one of these guys that when he goes mech, normally it's not the super turtly, all game long, we both max out and mine out the map mech that we see from players like Flash. Normally it's a more aggressive style like Supernova's where you know, you're getting out Banshees, Thors, and Hellbats for the most part, and some tanks, of course, as well. But you're trying to hit a much quicker timing attack and just kind of rally and roll the Zerg over.
I think it's going to be a drop, actually, based on the starport here. At least to start. Whoa, it's a Viking. Which then could also lead into a drop, I suppose.
Yeah, I think a Viking is a good way to lead into a drop. You know, during this, you're building up your Hellion count, and you can actually remove some of the Zerglings off the map, and then you kill off some Overlords, and they don't really know exactly where the drop is coming from. Yeah.
But let's see how he continues this, because he's actually cut Marine production, which is often another tell that we will be seeing mech. He was supply blocked actually for a little bit though, so that might be also the reason. We'll see.
He does start in the Marine. Well, we have some more Lings on the way, of course, for RorO, who is taking his third base.
He's actually just going to run by here.
Wow, I wasn't really expecting that, but let's see how many he can actually get. A lot of these drones damaged. Some nice surround there by RorO. He actually dealt with that a bit better than I thought he would.
Oh, one more shot. Not good enough.
Yeah. 6 workers killed, but you know what? He lost 4 Hellions and a Reaper. That's a lot of early game map control that is now completely gone.
Yeah, I think this is a much better situation for RorO now.
Yeah, I would be happy with that as RorO. That's not bad.
And Cloak and Banshee's coming up. A bit shocking to RorO, I think, when that arrives, because he saw, you know, just a factory there, didn't see any starport, and might actually be thinking the third CC has been placed or something, because he doesn't have any Lings to even check for that right now. All of his Lings are stuck defending this Hellion harass.
Well, you know what I was just thinking, Wolf? Now, it does look like this is definitely going to be mech. There's just no way he's going into bio from here. But is this the right player? Because the map is the right map. Like, you can definitely go mech here and it's strong, but is this the right player to go mech against?
That's a good thought.
Because the more I think about it, like, RorO is actually, like, one of the top macro Zergs. He wants to get to the late game more than almost anyone. Like, he doesn't pick up early wins. Like, he dies early. That's what happens.
Yeah. I think you're making a very good point here. RorO is also one of the best Swarm host users that we have in Korea. So this map is great for Swarm hosts against Protoss. That's one of the reasons why RorO is so good here, but it's also really good against mech on this map. So I don't know. This is actually going to make for such an interesting game. But RorO doesn't know yet what he's up against. He's actually making a Baneling nest right now, double Evo chamber. We'll see what upgrades he starts researching there, but he hasn't really identified things yet. And not only is there no Spore Crawler here, there's no Overseer yet either. He doesn't show Cloak yet, but the Overseer is on the way.
Yeah, as it should be. You always got to account for the possibility of Cloak. And normally it is Cloak. Oh my god, he turns all these Hellions into Hellbats over here.
There's only Lings, so
that hatch is just going to die, right? Like, he's got to morph a bunch of Banelings, but he's not going to get them in time.
This Banshee is actually not accounted for. I don't know where the Overseer went, but it's certainly not here where it needs to be. This Banshee is getting a ton of kills right now.
Wow, this is pretty crazy, man. Look at this. 3 Queens coming up. He's going after them. The Lings coming up as well. He needs to actually kill those off. It looks like he's trying to kill Queens, but does actually clean this up before it kills the hatch.
Oh, this is so many kills on this Banshee. And I'm actually even surprised he didn't make a second Banshee. Or no, he's making one now. But
that is a little bit later. But, you know, I think he wanted to add the facts because he was on 1 fact forever. Like, he got 4 gases before his second factory. Yeah. So maybe he was deciding, you know, I'll see what I can get done with this. And it was much more than I think he was planning for.
Yeah, this is insane how much damage he's gotten done. This is now looking pretty rough for RorO. You talked earlier about how RorO's weakness is dying early oftentimes, and, well, he's not dead yet, but he certainly made his mid-game a lot weaker. Thors are already on the way, obviously, as a response to the Spire he scouted, and double Banshees. Okay, so he did have a second one. He just either didn't rally it intentionally or not, but he's got these Banshees here. They can now one-shot a drone if they just right-click on it.
Well, you know, this is a great way to do harassment. It's 2 Banshees at once. In the meantime, we do have a bunch of Hellbats coming over. Lings do surround immediately, so a very timely surround, and he will end up cleaning these up without too many losses.
Yeah. Definitely nice trade there for RorO. As best as he can hope for with Lings versus Hellbats anyways, because that's usually going to be a pretty tough engagement. First Mutalisks are popping out now, and he does delay this third base. So the guy's own 4th going up, which hasn't been scouted yet. I like this choice because, you know, it's risky. If the Hellbats had gone over there, he might have forced to cancel, but at least now he's got that base going up while he defended his 3rd.
What do you do here, really? As RorO, with 6 mutas, you've lost countless drones. You know, you've done no damage to Bbyong. What is your plan?
It's rough, man. It's hard to say. I think the plan may be to just harass as much with a small count of Mulus, try to get RorO to, or rather try to get Bbyong to overreact, and then go into Swarm mode. So he does have an Infestation Pit on the way.
I think you're completely right on that. I think that that is really his chance here to equalize the game again, is to get enough Swarm hosts out before you know, Bbyong actually hits his timing attack. And you know, you need him to be really heavy on Thors, but he's showing 6 mutas, and he's not really coming in a lot. So already we have Bbyong switching over to siege tanks. He's kind of read this correctly.
Yeah. By the way, we had almost 20 drones made all at once for RorO, so he basically made in one wave of drones the whole saturation needed for this base over the top right. And he's actually getting the Carapace upgrade for his Mulus, so that's going to help them against Thor shots, because it's going to apply 4 times, right, every time the Thor shoots. And is going into that increased lifetime for the Locusts. Nice catch here on these Hellions.
Yeah, very nice. Trying to get anything done he can with these mutas, but really not doing a whole lot as of yet. He did make that group of roaches. I think those were just defensive to make sure Hellions didn't wreck his new economy, which is very nice, but that, of course, does cut into any count of Swarm hosts.
Yeah.
And this army is pretty scary, man. Like, 3 Swarm hosts, 4 Swarm hosts aren't going to do anything against it.
Yeah, this is that kind of early move out you were talking about, that timing-oriented type of mech play rather than being a Turley mecher. And he does have 9 about to pop out Swarm hosts. They need to be in position, though. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get over there in time to save this 4th base, which is exactly where Bbyong is going. And the Roaches are counterattacking.
Yeah, I like this move a lot. He really wants to pull the army back. It doesn't look like the army's going to... Oh, my God. If he picks out those siege tanks, that would be huge, but he missed it. He missed... Oh, God. Okay, he's coming back. That is a big move, though, to pick off these 3 siege tanks.
Yep. He's still going to lose this base, but maybe he can actually catch and destroy this army with a few waves of Locusts and those Mulus coming over. Actually, did he not get the siege tanks? What is that walking across the map?
Oh, maybe some of them got away. It looks like maybe he didn't micro it a whole lot. Now these Roaches coming in, not really doing a whole lot. Sumlings going towards that 3rd base. But RorO has lost his 4th, so this little counter needs to do some damage, and it's just not.
Yeah, the Mulus were on move command. They were just sitting there right at the 4th base location of Bbyong when he wants to take that eventually. They're just kind of hovering over there doing nothing. The tanks have actually joined up with the army now, making it a lot stronger against these Swarm hosts. He defends the harassment here, even will save that command center. This hatchery is going to get targeted down in like 2 seconds flat, and he's going to try to do one big engagement here.
Well, he's knocking out all these siege tanks. He actually will end up cleaning this up. I think the 4-cloak Banshees, though, I guess, are really the problem here.
Yeah.
He can just scan and start killing some of these Swarm hosts.
Exactly, and boom, there's the scan. And this actually may just be too much damage. I don't know if RorO can recover from this. He's on now 2 bases, and all of his very expensive and very, you know, they're very high utility Swarm hosts are now going down, and the rest of the mech army is just rallied across the map. There's no more mutas anymore. Yeah, he kills that Thor, but where's the answer for the Banshee? He needs to make more mutas. And I don't know what's on the production tab, but I assume Bbyong is making Thors, knowing that Mulus are his biggest fear right now.
Yeah, well, he's just... I think at this point it almost doesn't even matter what he makes.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. He's
There's
killing
no
absolutely
overseer
everything.
here.
I think we're just going to see GG in a second here. This is...
Yeah.
That's it, GG.
Bbyong, man.
Yeah, very
King
strong
Sejong may be your map RorO on ZVP, but against my Terran, it's mine.
He got a lot of kills there. Like, that Banshee was just madness. And it's funny, because as you were saying, like, he got the Overseer, but where was it? And then he had to, of course, pull the Queens to deal with the Hellbats, or he loses that hatch, and so he can't deal with the Banshee then, even.
Yeah.
A tough loss there for RorO. I think that if I was RorO here, I would be a little bit frustrated with myself after that game.
Yeah, he couldn't control any aspect of it.
Yeah.
The Mulus harassment that he did. Normally when you're harassing Mulus against mech, it's the moment where you try to make the mech player have to be reacting to you. It's the first thing you can do to try to mess with the mech player. Because Mulus basically did nothing, so Bbyong just controlled the game the entire time.
Yeah, you know, but I guess it was the right play to make the 6 mutas.
I think
try
so, too.
Try to trick him, but I think it's Bbyong that's going to move out no matter what. This guy's fearless with mech.
Well, Overgrowth, the normal map pick here for Zerg. Other 2-player map. Other map we might see mech on. We've seen it a lot, so...
Yeah, definitely could see it here. There's no question. Will he go for that same type of strategy twice? Wouldn't be surprised, man. Bbyong is becoming more and more synonymous with mech.
Definitely very, very well versed in using it, man. Really impressive every time I see him do it. RorO, man, it'd be weird to see him go down to a loser's match here, but he's up against such a good Terran. I really feel like Bbyong is going to join Trap and get out of this group.
Well, I definitely think Bbyong is a good favorite to get out of here. No one would fault you for saying that.
All right, here we go. Game number 2, Bbyong versus RorO on Overgrowth.